Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Jose Manuel de Jesus on the line, and he is the president and owner over at Quadrant Two PR. JM, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Adam. Very happy to be here with you.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Quadrant 2 PR. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career and in business?
Well, I remember my first press release that I published was a translation of a release put out by a nightclub where I was actually the head of security, a place called SOBs over on Houston Street in New York City. And they asked me to translate a press release and send it to whatever press contacts I might dream up, and I did, and then it got published word for word, and that really began my interest in PR.
Wow, that's awesome! I love it. So chance encounter to lead you on a journey that's lasted. You know, you're going on 26 years, according to what I see, at least in your current business, Quadrant 2 PR, and then even have background with PR before that. So that being said, you did make the transition into a business owner, and you've been in business for a long time. We all learn from the ups, the downs, the sideways, everything in between. And you know, there's some entrepreneurs on here or listening right now, or would be, maybe they're just getting started, who aren't quite as far along as you are in their business. What kind of advice would you give to that new entrepreneur that's really just going out there and getting started, based on obviously you having hindsight now, being in business well over 20 years?
Well, I would say don't let the downs get you down. Anybody can be lulled by success. Success is nowhere near good a taskmaster and as brutal a taskmaster as failure. So don't let the downs, the failures get you down. Keep going, keep believing, and you will be okay. You will get there.
That's awesome. I do want to switch it up a bit, JM. Let's get into what you're doing over at Quadrant 2 PR. So we obviously hinted into how you got into the business. Let's go further. So tell us more about the business.
Well, the business started really largely as a corporate communications firm. It's only in the last, I'd say, half of the history, last 10, 12, 13 years, that I have now expanded into the small business realm. And that's kind of where I am today. Today I have clients from all over the business spectrum, including the arts and traditional businesses, everything from restaurants to recording artists and jazz artists.
That's awesome. Can you, first off, I don't want to assume that everybody listening to this, because I think what you said is pretty important. So meaning you started out in the corporate space, and now you're working in the small business space. In my opinion, part of the reason that is because the demographic of what PR means and its necessity has increased over time. So once upon a time, just big companies needed to do PR, right? The small business owner didn't do it. But now that we're in this digital age, where if you're not crafting your message, somebody else is doing it for you. Like, that's the way of doing it itself. Can you talk about the importance of PR to the small business owner for a bit?
I agree. Much like priorities, if you don't set them yourself, believe me, someone else will set them for you. I think that there's a myth out there, and some of these myths are projected by people in tremendous positions of wealth and power. But believe me, they are myths. We all need marketing and PR. All our businesses do. And good PR, I have a friend who always used to tell me, JM, good PR starts at home. And I cannot agree with that more. I'm in violent agreement with that. You need to go out there and toot your own horn. Or guess what? The other 100, the other 1,000 businesses that are in your space will do so. And believe me, no matter who you are and what you do, somebody is out there competing with you.
No, I love that, and I love it 100%. And I find that the next thing is, so let's say they're business owners listening to it right now, and they're like, all right, I've heard I need PR, but what's the point? Like, what can it do for me? Can you talk about some of the specifics and the specific services that you do for your clients so that people understand that just understand if they're the right type of fit for what they're looking in your company?
Well, these days, Adam, a lot of us are being trained by the social media, which has taken such an important space in our lives, to pretty much understand that content is really the new currency, the new king. So you really got to get yourself out there in front of your audience and let them know that you're an expert in this field, that you understand your business, and that they need to give you business for your business because you are an expert, and you are the expert that can help them. And in that sense, PR is at the forefront of marketing. Our advertising friends, yes, they're important and they're creative, but it's true that the people who most create content are publicists. The PR people in today's social media space are the ones who are most qualified and most able to help you tell your story, which I think is another big flag that I want to wave and another horn I want to toot to your audience. You got to really get out there and explain your message. Tell your message. If nobody knows your message, you can have the best service, the best product. You can be the best artist in the world, and nobody will ever know because they just don't know where you are. So you'll come out of your circle when you do that. Your friends and family and people who have heard about you in your immediate vicinity and storytelling area are going to know about you, but those people will only take you so far. It's everybody else. It's all the other influencers out there who are going to say, wow, this person is fantastic. This business, this service is really good. I need to tell other people about this in my own space, and that will hopefully, and if you do it right, create viral hits on the internet. And also, of course, don't forget that print is not dead. And other traditional media are not dead. So you want to get out in the forefront of those media as well so that your story is told over and over again as many times. And that will help you, A, get your objectives fulfilled by getting those messages out there that are important to you and getting customers in the door, getting customers on your phone, getting customers on your email, getting customers in your social media, connecting with you saying, hey, man, I like what you're doing. Can you do it for me?
Where do you find some business owners typically, and I know this is going to change from owner to owner and also depending on the size of the business, but I do know that you've been in business for a long time and certain themes arise over time. Where do you find the small business owner goes wrong in crafting their story that they tell when they don't work with a professional?
Well, sometimes the owner gets caught up in their own sentimentality about their businesses, and they kind of miss the opportunity to really deliver the important messaging that needs to get out there in front of the audience. Audiences that are going to use that message to say, wow, man, I got to get this guy or gal working for me. I really think they can do a good job for me. So that's one place. And then the other place that I think they fall short is that they don't tell their story at all. They get a little lulled by some success, and then when that success wanes and the curve of usage in the business cycle starts maturing and not as much business comes through, they then find themselves in real need for marketing, and they then are often faced with the fact that they don't have the budget at that point. But when the business is rocking and rolling and those registers are hot and those bank accounts are hot, then they get lulled into the satisfaction and complacency. I don't need any marketing. Who needs any damn marketing? I'll keep my money. Well, in the end, if you don't tell your story, someone else will tell it for you. And by the way, they'll siphon the money that's coming. It should have come to you and put it into their bank account.
Man, that's great advice. So, Jam, what kind of clients do you like to work with? So if somebody's listening to this and they do want to learn more about Quadrant 2 PR, do they know if they're the right type of fit to give you a call?
Well, I work with almost any and every industry. I've worked with so many industries over the years. Unfortunately, I've never been able to specialize in one particular industry, so I've developed a few. Anything from healthcare to food. So right now, for instance, I have a wonderful jazz artist who's the first Indian jazz artist to ever play her own show at Carnegie Hall recently on December 20th, Charu Suri. I also am more of a full media company. I run more of a media company. So, for instance, right now I've been asked to be associate publisher of a publication called Sensi, and they've asked me to bring the magazine here to the New Jersey area, and I am endeavoring in that regard. I also have software. A lot of the new technology is out there, of course, and so that's what's in the pipeline right now. So I have another client who, for instance, puts out an artificial intelligence interactive software that helps other entrepreneurs go through the paces very, very diligently and with tremendous, focus. Called Crucible is the name of the product, and it's an outfit called Greenlight Incorporated. And so it can be almost anything from my perspective. There are some people who specialize. Unfortunately, fortunately, I've never been able to specialize. So I've gotten clients and have clients from a full spectrum, everything from a large corporation to the small mom and pop business that really has the focus and discipline that's needed to stay the course when it comes to marketing.
That's awesome. So, Jam, what is the best way for somebody to reach out and learn about Quadrant 2 PR if they're listening to this and want to give you a call?
Well, actually, funny you should use that language because I prefer that they do give me a call. So they should reach out to me via telephone at 646-234-7196. They can also tweet me at PRManJM on Twitter or Quadrant 2 PR on Twitter. And they can also find me, Jose.m.dejesus/MBA at Facebook.
Perfect. Well, hey, Jam, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at Quadrant 2 PR to help your clients out. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Jam, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you, and thank you for doing this for all us entrepreneurs out here. We really, really appreciate it and need it.